Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. What's all this then? Oh, wait a second. That's not the normal theme song.
Why
That
does
sounded
the theme song
horrible.
sound so shit? What the
Ooh.
fuck?
God, did somebody replace my phone with a piece of shit? This sounds terrible.
It sounds like the What's All This Then team has completely run out of money. They don't even have enough money to play the theme song anymore. Oh, that's so sad how my favorite podcast, What's All This Then, has fallen due to their lack of money. Isn't that right, Libby?
Yes, that's right. We have been replaced by worse equivalents. No, we wanted to tell you all before we start the episode about our Patreon. First of all, because we have a very exciting live stream coming up on Friday of the week that this comes out with our first guest, Jesse Farrar. Isn't that nice?
It's always nice to have Jesse back on the podcast. What are we doing on the live stream, Libby?
We're going to look at footballers' mansions and say how shit they are.
Oh, that's nice, and that's on theme because the episode is about Manchester United, and that's football, is it not?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is football.
Sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, now I'm struggling because I don't know how to utilize Mrs. Potato.
Oh, yeah, well, we do have Mrs. Potato as well. Why doesn't Mrs. Potato tell us about all the wonderful benefits of signing up to the Patreon?
Okay, give me 1 second. Hello, I'm Mrs. Potato.
Oh, no.
I love to subscribe to the What's All This Then Patreon, where I can get video and of the finest episodes, and I can get the finest episodes too. Twice as much What's All This Then in my feed. Oh, I love them so much. Oh, this is the sound I make every time I get a new finest episode, and I love to make sure that they get all of the money they need to make the podcast, because it's nice to listen to the podcast for free, but it does also need money to keep happening, isn't it? Yes, I know this. I'm a good listener. I don't have parasocial relationships with them either. I'm Mrs. Potato.
And I promise, if you sign up to the Patreon, I will kill Mrs. Potato. She will be compromised to a permanent end, and you'll never have to hear her again.
But she's supporting the Patreon, Libby.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kill her.
It's fine. I'm gonna eat Mrs. Potato. I didn't put too much pen on her, and also my Sharpies ran out, so she can barely see her facial features. But that's fine. Well, this has been a wonderful introduction to the world of Mrs. Potato. And do subscribe to the Patreon. It's patreon.com/what's all this then if you want to support us in the show and get those lovely finest episodes and get access to the monthly live streams we do now as well. And maybe the future baking club? I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Bake club.
But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy today's episode about Manchester United.
Hang on, I'm trying to think of a football thing. Kick on. They don't say that.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the biggie thing? What's all this then?
Well, hello everybody and welcome to another episode of What's All This Then? It's a podcast about the UK with new episodes every Monday, bonus episodes every Thursday, and today on the show we're talking about one of, if not the most popular football team in the UK. It's Manchester United, and to get us into the football spirit, I thought we might listen to some football chants.
Yes.
From Manchester United. So let's have a little listen to this.
Mm.
Ready, 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 ready. Oh, I wanna fuck Wayne Rooney. Oh, Wayne Rooney's cock inside my pussy. Oh, why won't you scream me Wayne Rooney? Oh.
There we go. That's
brings me back. It's so nostalgic.
Yeah, I know. Remember Wayne Rooney, guys? Remember Wayne Rooney and when everyone wanted to have sex with Wayne Rooney?
In their
classic
pussies,
Manchester United football chant there. And let's listen to one more of these.
Oh, sure.
Let's have another listen to this.
Wayne Rooney, Rooney, I want you to piss on me. Let me drown in your golden stream. Wayne Rooney, Rooney.
Okay, just another classic Manchester United football chant. Chris, are they? You're a Manchester United fan. Are they all about wanting to do stuff with Wayne Rooney, or are there any normal ones?
Listen, Wayne Rooney is he's obviously a very a hottie. Everybody knows he's one of the most attractive men in the UK, and I do feel like there's another chant it's a really rude one about having sex with David Beckham's wife. Who's Posh Spice, obviously.
Right.
That like opposing teams would chant. But yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. I've watched a lot of Manchester United matches. I've never heard the Wayne Rooney "Will you piss on me" chant. I've never heard that. I know he was very popular. He's one of the greatest Manchester United players of all time. But yeah, I mean, some of them are really insane. You can't really hear them that well on TV, but like when you actually hear the lyrics of them, some of them are pretty. Are those real chants though? Yeah,
these are all real. Okay, let's just listen to one more. I think I have one like normal one.
Yeah,
like, slightly more normal one.
Okay, good.
For us to listen to. So let's listen to this one. Here's a normal Manchester United.
This one's
chant.
almost a minute long.
It's a lot of lyrics to remember.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's. Here's another one.
Man you. Playing football's what you do. Man you. I wanna eat Wayne Rooney's poo. Scat man!
No.
We wanna eat Wayne Rooney poop. Give me a scoop of Wayne Rooney smelly poop. Doop boop a doop. If you like Man U, you eat poop. Wayne Rooney poop. Putting his poop into some soup. Doop a doop a doop.
Into some
we
soup?
Wanna eat his poop. Eat Wayne Rooney poop. If you like Man U, you eat Rooney poop. You wanna eat his poop. It tastes good to you. Scat also needs poop. Doing it poop a doo. I'm eating his poop.
So they play the music in the crowd when that's happening.
It's actually all a cappella. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay. They're really
even the electronic keyboard synth backing is a cappella.
There's some talent.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
They're a talented bunch of fans.
Absolutely. All right, so now we're all in the Manchester United football mood after listening to those football chants. Let's get into it. I'm Charlotte McDonald. I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host. It's Libby Watson.
Hello, Charlotte.
Hello.
I'm not in any way mad at you about that one, by the way, even though we did discuss on the recent Finest that I don't like the poop talk.
Yes, but then I thought it would be funny to imagine Man U fans talking about how much they wanted to eat Wayne Rooney's poo.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have enough time for an intro to the podcast to just do the first idea fully, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you have to piss off your co-host. It's just how it is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying you eat Wayne Rooney poo.
No, I got that. I'm not a Manchester United fan personally.
Yeah.
So I figured that it wasn't about me.
No.
I would let
Chris?
him piss on me though.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I am a Manchester United fan, so I guess it was kind of directed at me or people like me.
No.
So,
Did you think about that, Charlotte, when you were doing the song?
Yeah, no, I had two competing thoughts. One was I want to make a conscious effort to make sure the guests of the podcast try and have a better time on the show and make that sort of more of my goal. But then saying Manchester United fans want to eat Wayne Rooney's shit was just more funny to me. So
it's not when he scored the overhead kick against Manchester City, and I want to say the 87th minute. I mean, there was probably a few moments in my life where I wouldn't, like, I'm not a scat guy. I'm not into that stuff at all. But where if it was just like, hey, to show respect for Mr. Rooney, he would like you to eat a little bit of his poop. Just a little
bit, yeah.
like a little tiny bit. It's like a hard piece. You can like put chocolate with it or whatever. I have a lot of respect for the man. That's all I'll say. I got to watch him play live too, which was not in the UK, but he came over to the MLS and played for DC United against the Whitecaps. And it was like really one of the greatest days of my life, sporting wise, just to see him live playing. And he's a great guy too. He has one of the funniest tweets ever. I don't know that has always been a great guy, but he tweeted one time. It's one of my favorite tweets ever, where he's just tweeted at Rio Ferdinand, who's like a legendary Manchester United center back, England center back. And he was just like, hey, Rio, do you need a ride to the game today?
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah, and they were
That
like
is
already
good.
like the biggest team, and they had won the Champions League and stuff.
Yeah.
So he does seem, as far as like footballers and stuff, he seems like somewhat. And I love saying this about celebrities. He seems a little bit down to earth, kind of. You know.
Yes.
I love when I meet a celebrity and they're down to earth. That's
Yeah,
one of my
absolutely,
favorite things.
yeah.
Can I also say this was another issue that I ran into is after I had like put all of the effort into recording these, like I came across like Wayne Rooney's like podcast and I was like, oh yeah, this is like a real man who still sort of exists and he's not just the sort of cartoon character version of him that I have in my head since like childhood. So sorry
No,
if you're
it's
listening, Wayne. Apologies.
He does
he is.
punditry. Yeah, he does. He's getting a little bit more involved. He was like tried to be a manager for a while, I think with like Derby County, but he wasn't a great manager, but he's getting now involved in a little bit, and it's fun. I like listening to him. He doesn't come across as maybe the smartest guy always, but he seems like a pretty genuine guy, and he's bloated up so much. He's just like, I think he liked his drink and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Quick checking because wow, yeah, no, some sliders have been moved to the right for sure.
I mean, if I was like a professional footballer and then I moved away and I'm just doing like commentating, I would be like, yeah, fuck it. Like I had the perfect body when I was doing that. Now I can just, waste this thing and just have a good time. Makes sense.
Ronaldo, not Cristiano Ronaldo, but the other Ronaldo, who's a famous Brazilian footballer. He's like huge now. Like he's like gotten here. He was like one of the greatest of all time. I think it is kind of a cool move. Obviously, maybe health wise and stuff. But yeah, he seems very happy. And watching him, he'll play in like a charity match sometimes, and he's like he's so big, but he's still so good because he's Ronaldo.
Sure,
You know.
yeah.
So like every now and then you'll see like this just pretty big fat guy who's just like got insane skill on the ball, and it is pretty
Right.
cool to see.
that.
Yeah.
Just bombing it down the field, yeah.
Well, we will talk more about Manchester United when we get to the main topic. But first, I do have to introduce you, Chris. Are you ready for me to introduce you?
Sure. Yeah. That would
One of
be
the hosts
great.
of the podcast, Guys, a podcast about guys. It's Chris James. Welcome to the
thanks.
show.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm the other host, the guy who I'm known as the normal one on the Guys podcast, and yeah, it's nice for you to ask me to come on. I don't get a lot of requests. I live in the shadow of Brian.
Look,
It's
I'm right there
nice.
with you, buddy. I'm the little one on this show. I'm little
Are
Alex
you
Horn.
really?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
But you're,
So Charlotte, you're the Brian of this podcast.
I was gonna ask which one of us is the normal one, and I guess
in
it's
terms
Libby.
of in terms of normalness, I don't think I'm more normal. I think we're about equal levels of abnormal. But Charlotte's just so much more famous than me that
Oh, I see.
I had my
it's
moment of fame. Yes,
That's right, on YouTube, of course, and stuff like that. Yeah. That makes sense. So Brian had like his podcast before too, but
Yeah.
it's just I was more meaning like in the way that he's like he sort of tries to dominate me a lot behind the scenes and like put me in my place and stuff like that and let me know that like, hey, you are the second fiddle. You are.
Yeah.
I get paid 10% of what he
Yeah,
does
you know,
on the show.
and
you
which
should
is
ask
a
for
big-
more.
He tells you you're
I've
lucky to
asked
get
for
it as
more.
well.
I mean, I've asked for more a bunch of times, and
Every
it's
time that
like-
number goes down, it gives you less every time you ask for more, right?
Yeah, I started off at 17%, and I've asked for more 7 times, and now I'm at 10%. And then he like, anyways, whatever. He'll send me threatening stuff afterwards and stuff like that. But anyways, it's fun to do the show with him, and the show's doing pretty well. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we
It's a
love
pleasure to have
having-
you on. I remember when last time I came on, I got messages from people not realizing they knew me from YouTube since I changed my name. A lot of people just being like, I thought they were like, Charlotte McDonald, I think of that as a guy's guest. And then they were like, oh no, and now I also remember
That's
Charlie
funny.
is so cool, like in combining those two people, which was nice, honestly.
It's
Yeah.
I like
fun. It's
Yeah.
fun to be exposed to a new audience, even if it is through talking about milk guys. Guys who love milk.
Mhm.
Oh, you came on for Milk Guys.
Yeah, it was milk,
Milk guys and marketing guys I've done now. Yes.
Yeah, Milk Guys was a really disgusting episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Libby, you have an episode we just recorded.
That's right. Yes, I think
which was-
this is going to be out the same week.
Yeah, Manners Guys, which was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it was great. I was going to talk about some of the etiquette books that I read for our episode that we just did about afternoon tea, because I read some late 19th, early 20th century etiquette books for that. But then we ended up talking a lot about chop and eat as you go instead. Charlotte, are you familiar with the idea of chop and eat as you go?
Yeah, do you do chop and eat as you go?
Do you chop and eat as you go?
I do chop and eat as you go. I mean, I never really have thought of it in this way, but I suppose, like, taken in a literal way, yes, I do. But maybe I don't know the details.
Do you chop all your food up in the beginning like a little baby and make it into little tiny pieces and then eat it all? Or do you just like cut your food up as you're eating it?
Yeah, do you cut every baked bean on your plate in half before you start eating? Because obviously one whole baked bean would be too big.
Yeah, do you cut your Scotch egg in half or in quarters? That's right. I know about stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm so thrilled to have someone mention Scotch eggs before we do. That is really
that
fun.
nice.
I've never had one before, but Libby knows this, and I talked about it. I've become obsessed with British panel shows. It's the only thing that I watch now, like obsessively. And so I've learned about Scotch eggs, and I am sort of interested to try one. Like, it's sort of, I don't know, it doesn't sound good to me, but I do.
Do you like a boiled egg?
Yes, I do like a hard-boiled egg.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just like, I guess the meat part of it and stuff like that, and then it doesn't sound like super appealing to me, but I'm interested to try it for sure.
I want to know what British panel shows you're into right now.
Well, I'm listening to Would I Lie to You? I'm watching, and then the one that I'm big into right now is 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. Those are the
right.
I really like. I'm kind of a nerd that way. Like, I like doing the puzzles and stuff. Like, I used to play Scrabble with my mom. My mom was like huge into Scrabble, and so I would play when I was a kid and like go to her Scrabble tournaments and play against these like adult Scrabble. It was just like, you know, that wasn't an official kind of series, but some of them were really, really good. Like Janice Parker, kidding me? Janice Parker would regularly score over 500 playing Scrabble, which is an insane score one-on-one. But yeah, I really like it, and I like doing the like numbers ones and stuff. I don't know if you guys know, the listeners maybe don't know what it is, but they give you like 6 numbers, and then you have to make the big number or whatever. So you have to like find a way through math. You have to do like 10 times 4, then you add it to this times that or whatever.
That
and
was
you have to come up with that
right?
number.
Yeah.
And then they give you letters, and you have to come up with things. So I'm a nerd in that way, that I like to do it along with it. And then also I get to watch my favorite comedians doing it as well. So I think it's fantastic.
I think that's the thing that makes the difference. Because have you watched Only Connect?
No.
Okay, so Only Connect is this extremely difficult. It's not a panel show. It's like a quiz show. It's more like Mastermind or something. It's normal people that are on it, and they have to solve these really, really difficult, like esoteric puzzles.
Right.
And then
it's nerds who go on it, basically.
It's nerds. Yeah. It's like people who are like too clever for pub quiz have to get into Only Connect type shit. And it part of it is exactly the same as New York Times Connections, if you've ever played that. You know, where you have to put the things in the categories. And that is fine, but I think it would be a lot better if they were funny.
Yeah, that's like, listen, I could watch that show maybe, like, there is Countdown, obviously. It's not 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. Like,
it's just Countdown.
It's just Countdown, and it's like there's no humor to it or whatever. And I think I could maybe, like, I would just fast forward to the parts where they were doing the thing, and I would try to do the puzzles. Like, I would maybe not mind that. But yeah, it's the idea of it being like Sean Locke on there, like comedians like that, just being so funny, and the sort of dynamic, and like learning the dynamic between them becomes very funny. Like, I think John Richardson, I think his name's John Richardson, who's really
him.
He's really good at it. He's like super smart, and he's the best player by far. And then there's a kind of like the dynamic forms between Jimmy Carr and the different guests and stuff like that, and like Susie who does that it becomes, and then they're like the funniest people. So it's like you're watching these people goof around with each other, and they're the funniest people, and then you also get to play the game, you know?
I think the reason I can't watch it anymore is basically just because of Jimmy Carr. Who I
hate Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr does make it a little bit tough, even his laugh and stuff like that. It's like...
Let's decide who should replace Jimmy Carr.
Okay.
In the world. I don't even mean just
in the world?
just completely replace him in all roles.
I think it should be just like you know, the ventriloquist dummies. I think because that's sort of the kind of person he reminds
okay.
me of.
Mm-hmm.
I just want one of them.
Yeah,
and it can
what-
still be
Touch and
doing
Judy
Jimmy
doll.
Carr stuff. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
it just won't be him anymore.
Yeah.
There,
All right.
There's like a Australian comedian, and he does a puppet that's purple. He's very famous. Anyways, I just remember I did.
Bloody cunt, the purple puppet.
Yeah,
We love Bloody Cunt the Purple Puppet.
Yeah.
Cut the purple puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr does make it a little bit harder, definitely, but I'm not a big fan of his. I used to be when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
When
same.
I was a kid,
Yeah.
I had no concept of like I knew no other British comedians except for not Lee Mack.
Lee Mack.
No, not Lee. I
Mack?
do love Lee Mack on What I Lied to You. He's super clever. But no, it was another guy who would do like a crazy character. He was like, oh, I don't know. And he was like all like nervous and like, anyways,
Oh, fuck.
yeah,
The
some
one
people
who was
know-
in the movie about tiny little guys.
Yeah, he was in movies and
Fuck.
stuff. He was on like something about Mary and shit like that, like an American movie. Anyways, he was on a Just for Laughs clip, which is a Canadian comedy festival, and they would play it all the time. And I just thought he was the funniest. But the only actual
Lee
British
Evans?
comedian,
Lee Evans.
Lee Evans,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
There was
okay.
one like 6-minute clip of him that they would play on Canadian comedy shows, like channels all the time. And I became obsessed with him as a kid. But yeah, Jimmy Carr was the only comedian I knew that was just doing British comedy. So I was like, oh, this guy's the funniest guy ever. Little did I know that like there's a lot of other British comedians who are all like doing a similar
Yes.
type thing.
Right.
And it's a lot funnier.
He was just
yeah.
at the top of the pile. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The only
I've-
one I had access to.
Yeah, I've been really wanting to watch Last One Laughing. I keep on
Me
giving
too.
Fit
Oh,
clips of
it's
that.
so good. That's how I
Yeah.
got into the. That's how
Right.
I got into the panel shows. Is that I watched both seasons of that, and then I was like, I gotta find these people. Like, what are they
Yeah.
doing? Like, I want to see them doing other stuff. You know. So
Yeah.
that was exactly how I got into it. Just through Instagram clips of Bob Mortimer and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I just need
Yeah.
I need someone with a like stronger constitution than me to go through every episode of that show and just cut out all of the Jimmy Carr stuff just so I can watch
Right.
it. Because whenever I get those clips, like I was watching the one with David Mitchell, who's talking about taking an old timey photograph, and he's playing very off character, and he's got like a bow in his hat, and he's doing a little old song and dance, and I was like, this
Yeah.
is really really funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, it's just like cut through with. And
Oh,
I'm like, I just
oh.
don't. Please, please no.
What we need is like, remember, I don't remember which World Cup it was where the vuvuzelas were like ruining all of the sound.
South
and then-
Africa.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Mm-hmm.
they like they had this like sound that cancelled it out or something on the board. Like some kind of like, maybe I dreamed this, but it was like a magic sound that was exactly like the opposite frequency of it or something. That's
Yeah.
what we need for Jimmy Carr's love.
Yeah, you can. You're right. He's. Not, I will say in Last One Laughing, he's not involved that much because the majority,
That's
like
good.
he's in the room. He's watching it. And he gives the red cards and stuff when people
Right.
laugh. But it's like he's not in the day to day. So it's like Richard Ayoade. I can never say his last name. But yeah, he's like in the first series, he's so fucking funny. And then yeah, David Mitchell, Sam Campbell is
Sam
in it.
Campbell.
It really is like I've tried to watch other versions of it because it's like it's a Japanese show, right? I forget what the original.
Yeah, I've seen clips of the Japanese version and it's very
it's
funny.
Very funny. And I watched that originally when it came out. It's not called Last One Laughing. It has a different name. But yeah, then there's literally like 100 of these. They're like every country has a Last One Laughing. Like they're,
Yeah.
and I've tried watching a few other ones like the Australian and the Irish one just because they're English speaking and it's
Yeah.
like I don't like subtitles in comedy that much. But I can't. I like it. It's okay. But like the fucking British version, it is just so perfect for like British humor. These British people trying to make each other laugh and then not laughing. There's just something about it that is like so endearing and so
Yeah.
fantastic to watch. Bob Mortimer does this thing where he puts his teeth, like his bottom teeth, when he's gonna laugh, like over his lips, like.
Oh, that's
And he
really
does that, and you can tell that he's like trying to not break. And I literally just watched it like maybe a month ago, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch it again. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
watch the entire thing
That's
again.
good.
It's
God,
so
I love that
fucking good.
feeling. That's how I feel
Yeah.
about Nevada the Band, the show. Like, I watched it for the first time, like last month, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to watch it again.
Oh, it's so good. Do you know that I know them?
You do?
Yeah, like my friend group. There's like this group of friends that I met in Vancouver, and they were from Ontario.
Yeah.
And so my good friend at the time, he was like best friends with Matt.
Wow.
And I played on like the softball team with Matt's sister and stuff. And like Matt came to like my live show in Vancouver when he was in town. And like, yeah, they used to tell me about like before it was big, it was just a web series.
Yeah,
and like, you got to watch this thing.
Right.
It's like our friend's show. And I would be like, you know, when people tell you that and you're like,
you're like,
oh,
okay,
God.
whatever.
Watch my web series.
How terrible
I'll get
is this
right
going
on
to
that,
be?
yeah.
Like, this is going to be the worst thing I've ever seen. And then it was Nirvana the band, the show.
That's
and it
crazy.
was like, oh
That's
man,
crazy.
the movie, it was just, I just went and watched the movie a little while ago. Yeah, those guys are like the funniest fucking guys. That shit is the fucking best. That is like one of Canada's best things that we've produced
I
in
agree.
a long time.
I think it's the funniest thing since Peep Show. And it is very Peep Show. Is Chris, are you a Peep Show guy?
I just started watching Peep Show because
Chris, welcome to
I know. The thing that always
world.
The thing that put me off from Peep Show was, I think maybe some people obviously they find was the camera stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I really struggled with it. It like made me sometimes actually physically nauseous.
Yeah.
Kind of the way that they had the first person camera view. But I got over it because I got obsessed with David Mitchell on Last One Laughing.
Right.
And I was just like, I gotta give this a chance. And it really, really is. Yeah, absolutely 100% my shit. I can't even tell you how obsessed, like when you asked me to do this, I was like, could not be better timing because I am like just immersed in British stuff now. It's like the only stuff that I watch. Yeah.
I mean, that's wonderful. We love to hear that because we do like asking people whether they like Britain and whether there's British stuff they like. But it seems like maybe at least recently a bit all right. Maybe.
And honestly, not just recently, my entire life, I like grew up watching Monty Python. I'm not sure what those guys are up to now. Just kidding. But I would I would go to the video store with my family. We would, you guys remember that? God, that was nice. The nights out at the video store renting movies. But I would rent Monty Python every time, just Monty Python's Flying Circus when I was like a kid and was obsessed with that and always kind of like wanted to be British. And that's and like Manchester United. I've watched Manchester United since I was like 6 years old. Every single game I wake up at like they're on 4:30 in the morning on Saturday. I'll be up watching it at 4:30 in the morning. So yeah, I really love, in almost like a weird way, I love British culture, I would say.
It used to be a lot more normal, I think, to be like that. And then in the last sort of I don't know, about 10 years or something, it's sort of fallen off for some reason. But never mind about that. I have so much to say about this, but do you want to do British Thought of the Week, Charlotte?
Let's do British Thought of the Week because it is of course relevant to our main topic this week as well. All right.
Once.
Here we go.
Tea's quite nice. What happened to Noel Edmonds? EastEnders. Bloody raining again. How do they make Scotch eggs? Did they finish Brexit or what?
British Thought of the Week.
That's right, Charlotte. It's British Thought of the Week, and this week's British Thought of the Week comes from Ben, who wrote into our mailbox at whatsallthispost@gmail.com, which you can also do if you have a British Thought of the Week. And Ben asks, why do British people make fun of Americans for calling it soccer when it was British people who invented that term and just decided to stop calling that? And then he says, look it up. Which I think is very funny.
That is funny. I almost feel like we've been owned, even though I don't think we've ever... Have we ever made fun of people for calling it soccer? Have we done that?
I mean, look, I hope not. Because
it seems possible.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
He also signed his email Americanly, which I really enjoy. And he also said, it's the only podcast I like that my wife also likes. Which I really love. I love when wife-like podcasts. If you are out there and you have a wife and you haven't played this podcast for your wife yet, why don't you try playing it for your wife? She might like it. I don't know.
This is when I was on Stores. I recorded an episode of Stores. I have no idea when that thing is coming out. But that was my sell at the end, was if you want a podcast that you can play to your wife and sort of like help her understand the sort of things that you're into, you know?
Yep.
We're for wives. This podcast is for wives.
Does your wife listen to exclusively true crime podcasts? Well, try her on this, see if she likes it. We're here to help. No, okay. So the question is, why do we get mad at Americans who call it soccer when we used to call it soccer? And I didn't know this, but it is true that the word soccer originates in Britain. We don't call it that. I'll admit to it. Charlotte, do you know what the origin of the word soccer is?
Soccer? Okay. Now the word sock is in there.
Yeah.
Did they used to kick around a ball which was just a bunch of tied together socks?
Is that what you think? Is that really what you think? Just completely
No, it's not
selling
what
you
I
on it.
really think, Libby. I don't really think anything about this. I don't know. But you know, and I just wanted to say something before you tell me.
Yeah, I do know. And I'm also going to edge you a little bit on this by also asking, Chris, I'm curious actually, as a Canadian, do you call it football or soccer?
Well, I go back and forth. It depends on it depends on who I'm talking to or whatever. But because I'm such a fan that sometimes I'll call it footy, which is a way to get around it because football, obviously here, in North America, we have the Canadian Football League, the CFL, and then the lesser known NFL, the National Football League.
Right.
And so that's what football is. But if you say footy, then
Everyone knows.
you're talking.
Everyone
knows what you're talking about, and then they also know that you're it's kind of sad because it's I should just call it soccer, but I'm I want you to know that
I'm cool.
I'm a real fan.
Yeah.
I really actually watch, and I watch it all over the world and stuff like that. But I call it soccer definitely sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that's totally understandable as a way to distinguish. And if you were just watching MLS or something, which of course, Charlotte, is Major League Soccer. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not. This was kind of a question I had for later. It's does it really even exist?
That's disrespectful. That's actually really disrespectful, and it's actually become quite a big league. And the Whitecaps have Thomas Müller, who's a World Cup champion, played for Bayern Munich. Lionel Messi, who's still considered one of the greatest players in the world, plays in the MLS now for Inter Miami. So it's actually pretty a pretty good league.
And it's not a retirement home for people from better leagues.
No, it's not. It used now Libby. It kind of is a little bit still, of course. And Thomas Müller's 36 years old. He is at the end of his career. But there are young players who are, we had Alphonso Davies who played for the Whitecaps when he was 15, and then until he was
15?
Yeah, that's so
doesn't
he
seem
ended
all
up.
right, does it?
No, it seems a bit crazy. There's a guy who plays for Arsenal in the Premier League, who's 15 years old now as well, who's who's the top team in England. But
Crazy.
It's a crazy sport like that where you can play at a really young age, like tennis or whatever. But Alphonso Davies played for the Whitecaps. And it was actually pretty cool to watch him play. And then he plays for Bayern Munich, who Thomas Müller did play for, who's they were in the Champions League. They're one of the best teams in the whole world. So sometimes it goes the other way. Players do develop in the MLS. And I watch all of it, and it used to be really brutal. You'd watch an MLS game, and then I would go watch a EPL game, and it would be holy fucking shit! This doesn't even seem like the same sport.
Yeah,
but it's definitely it's maybe on par with the Championship possibly, which is the second division in England.
Right.
Something like that.
That makes sense. And I'm also going to continue edging you because I want to actually propose something to you right here. I did say this on the Go Off Kings, but. You know how people say he knows ball about basketball in the US? Mm-hmm. So my suggestion for football is that we start saying if someone knows about footy, we say he knows foot.
He knows foot.
Oh, this guy knows foot. Well, that does seem a little bit like it could be misconstrued a little bit. There are some people, I don't know if you know, but they get sexually turned on by feet. And I feel like those people...
Oh, no.
Wayne Rooney, I want you to step on me.
That would make the most sense, having a foot fetish for Wayne Rooney because he's got this incredible foot.
That makes total sense.
Striker of the ball. Yeah.
Ooh, I want to feel those studs in me.
I bet if I went on a fetish porno site and typed in footballer feet, there would be millions of results.
Because they have those strong. Yeah, they have the strong feet that are so they're such impressive feet in what they're able to accomplish. Yeah.
Right. And I did learn something interesting actually. The origins of the word football it doesn't, allegedly, most people think it would come from the fact that you kick the ball with your foot, but it's because it was played on foot as opposed to posh people games that were played on horseback.
Oh, really?
Okay, and there were just more games where people would okay, are they counting fox hunting in terms of the games that they're playing at this point, or is it
don't know
lacrosse? We
don't know.
I
don't know. I'm floundering under scrutiny. I just read
Sorry.
read a couple of things on Wikipedia, and I tried to follow the links, and some of them
You
were
seem
broken,
so
but
confident.
some of them seem right. So look, it's fun, isn't it? Isn't that fun?
That is fun.
It's fun.
That is fun. I'm obviously wondering about all of the non-foot based games because there must have been big.
Well,
There's polo.
horse games.
There's
Yeah,
polo,
polo.
right? Polo
Polo.
is the big
Yeah.
one. Maybe there wasn't that
Jousting.
many.
Jousting.
Yeah.
The sport of jousting. Yeah.
Skewer
Were
the
they
peasant from the horse, I'm sure was one.
Were they still jousting when during football times?
When do you think football was invented, Charlotte?
I don't know.
It was fucking
Yesterday.
ages ago.
Ages ago.
Fucking ages ago. There are references to football going back to I don't know, it was 1200 or something. I can't find my fucking Wikipedia.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
tab.
very simple game that's very similar. It hasn't changed very much. It's a ball, and then you have a net, and then you kick it in there. It's very primitive, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. No, there are definitely references to football in the UK going back long ass time.
Did they have the offside rule back then too?
Don't know.
Don't know. Just this bit is just me and Libby poking each other about things we don't know.
Wait. Okay, I found it. An early reference to a ball game that was probably football comes from 1280 at Oldham in Northumberland. Henry, while playing at ball, ran against David. All right, cool. We also have another couple of early references that come from legal documents about guys who got stabbed or whatever during football matches, and those are from the 14th century. So it is real fucking old. But
Yeah.
when did we start calling it soccer? I can tell you. I'm gonna tell you. We started calling it soccer to distinguish it from rugby, and it's short for association football.
It's soccer.
Soccer. Sock, as in
Sock,
a sock,
yeah.
a socky,
Association.
I didn't want to be like a know-it-all, but I did know that fact actually.
That's great, Chris. We love that.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it sort of does make it feels more legit, definitely. But I think that it's all been just sort of now it boils down to, hey, it's a game that you play with your feet. And
Yeah.
it should be called football.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I think, transcends all that now, current times. It makes sense for it to be called football. I mean, this playing football, you're playing mostly with your hands.
That's right.
Sorry, I'm getting
No,
back
we'll get to
into
that.
stand-up
I
comedy.
promise we'll get to that. I'm going to read from the Encyclopedia Britannica here. They say linguistically creative students at the University of Oxford in the 1880s distinguished between the sports of rugger and a soccer, which then became just soccer.
Okay. Because those were both football sports in the old-fashioned way.
Because you run on your feet.
Right, so you do need to distinguish them. Okay,
Rugby,
that
football.
makes sense.
Yeah. So it all makes so much sense. But that's quite boring. So what I did was I started looking at Reddit posts about Americans asking why British people get so mad about this, which is, initially what Ben asked. Now, before I read any of these posts, Charlotte, do you think that's accurate to say that British people get mad that Americans call it soccer and not football, even though you play it with your feet?
I do think that there is an element of that, for sure. Because if you're a fan of football, you love football. I'm so smart and so good at podcasting. But what I mean is that you love the word football because it's like, oh, I love football, I love footy. So to sort of see someone else be like, oh, well, we call it by a different name, soccer, and it doesn't. I mean, because even though now we know football was not about kicking it with your feet, that is what it means now. So it feels like a silly word to use for it. I wouldn't say super mad because again, it doesn't feel comparatively. Soccer in the US and in North America is obviously way less of a thing as it is in the UK. So it doesn't make sense that you would be mad about something that is also less popular. But definitely just thinking, oh, that's a bit weird. That's mostly what I remember.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's right. I did also learn that the word soccer used to be used more in the UK. More interchangeably. Like they would sometimes call footy soccer. And that has sort of declined in the last few decades. And I did find one a professor of sports management at the University of Michigan, whose name is Stefan Szymanski, alleging that he thinks that people stopped saying soccer because it became associated with America.
That does make sense.
Yeah, because
okay.
we're little fuckers.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's not so much mad about it. I feel like it's like maybe looking down their nose at Americans a little bit for being stupid.
Right.
Like a little bit like, oh my God, that's so funny that you call it soccer when it's played with your feet. It doesn't actually make them mad. It just makes them maybe feel like Americans are dumb, which I did notice watching a lot of these panel shows and stuff like that does seem to be the crux of a lot of jokes when it comes to America, that Americans are stupid. I did kind of notice that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that really, I guess I wouldn't know because I started watching, or noticing telly and politics and stuff when I was, 10 or so. But that did coincide with George W. Bush winning the presidency. And that was a real, oh boy, these guys are stupid, huh? Time.
Yes. And just to be clear, I live in Canada. I'm not an American, even though some of the British listeners might be like, oh, you got an accent. But I live in Canada. So hey, listen, these guys are dumb to me as
Dumb as fuck, for sure. Yeah. So I went to Reddit to find some really good comments about this stuff, because that's where I go when I want to find some good comments. And I found a thread on r/AskABrit, which I feel like we need to be mining for content more, Charlotte, because...
I'm always having a look at Ask a Brit, for sure.
What an annoying place. Asking this exact question, why do so many Brits get so upset? And they say, in my experience, British people get way more upset than Europeans, even to the point where grown men throw temper tantrums over a mere mention of the word, which, look, I don't really think that's true. However,
at least not in sort of like our circles of people who are not like extremely into football, I guess. Yeah. Possibly maybe in the worlds of if you're so into this and you're sort of also tying it to like a national pride thing, which I think a lot of people do as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Then I can get it. So
yes, this is reminding me very much. These comments are reminding me very much of when we did on I think it was on David Sims' first episode, where we talked about whether the American question of whether British people celebrate 4th of July.
Yeah,
which is a stupid question, but the comments from British people being like, "Oh, why would we bloody because you're stupid, or why would we think about you," and all that stuff. There's a fair bit of that here. Comment here from Element 103. It's simply that it's wrong. We just want you to correct your mistake.
Well, it's right for them.
It's just not wrong. It's just different.
Yeah. It's just different word for the same thing. That's fine.
Yeah. Another great one here. Americans don't seem to like it when we call their game of football hand egg, so I guess we see it in the same way.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Hand egg.
Yep, and a reply here from an American. As an American, this is the first time I've heard of our football being called hand egg, and I find it beautifully hilarious.
I think they're just making a joke, right? People don't really call it hand egg.
If I met a British person in the US who actually literally tried to refer to American football as hand egg in conversation, seriously, I would have to turn around and walk away. I'd have to be like, "Oh no!" I mean, it's sports ball. It's like calling it sports ball. You know? But even worse.
If someone said to me about hand egg, I would say, "What are you talking about? Scotch eggs?" Because I always got one of those in my hand because I'm a big fan of Scotch eggs.
Yeah, and I'm going crazy on it. I'm eating it in one bite, easily peasily.
That would be such a cool. Where can I get? There's got to be a British place around here that I could get one in Vancouver. Yeah. There must be.
Oh,
it's such a shame because we still don't know how to make them as well.
No, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah,
no one knows.
Yeah. But I wanted to take this opportunity for us to come up with a term for things that I hate like this, for what I think of as sort of pond wars stuff, where it's like allegedly fights between British people and Americans over stuff that is not consequential but is boring and tedious. So I think we need to come up with a term for these sorts of little non-debates where people online are like, well, why are you always getting so mad about calling it soccer, or fucking, I don't know, I need another example immediately. Can you think of another example?
So mad about
4th of
calling
July,
it
I guess.
soccer. For the 4th of July thing you mentioned as well. What are some things? Hamburgers versus beef burgers, perhaps?
What?
Is that not?
Chips.
Chips.
Why do you call them
Chips
French
and fries?
French
I don't think
fries.
anyone gets mad about that though, because there are differences of terms like, lift and elevator, but I don't think anyone really gets mad about it. They're just like, oh, isn't that interesting? But then there are
chips
these
is
ones
a little
where
like confusing because the potato chips you call crisps.
Yes.
So it does become a little bit like, like really you're talking about a different type of food. He's like, oh, I had some chips with it. And it's like,
Right.
what flavor? And it's like, what do you mean? Fucking potato flavor. I put some malt vinegar on there, which I love to do, by the way.
Me too.
I just want to clarify that. I love that.
You're right. It is confusing, and I can see, if you are confused enough and it's causing a problem in your life, you might start sort of welling up without realizing why you're so angry.
Can I just say, this isn't one of those examples, but this is a thing that is the only confusing language thing that I've ever encountered, and because it happens a lot in footy when I'm watching footy, that the commentators will say this, where in England they will say he just about got that done, like just about did it, and that means that he did.
Yes.
He succeeded in doing it.
Yeah.
Versus around like where I'm from, if you said he just about did it, it would mean that he didn't. He almost did, but he came close to. He just about, like almost, just about. And then versus in England, it's like he just about did it, and he did do it. He actually completed it.
Okay, so for us, just about means barely, like he barely got through by the skin of his teeth. And for you, it means he just about did it, but he came shy of it.
He almost.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That to me is like the only thing that I ever found. And maybe people are listening and saying, what are you talking about? But that was the thing that I found, like where I would listen to that and it would confuse me. I'd be like, but he did do it. Like he did.
Right.
You're wrong in saying that. And that was the only thing I've ever found language wise where I was just like, this is like a real lost in translation thing for me as a Canadian.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, I think we should ponder on the question of what we're going to, perhaps could be a recurring segment of uninteresting and unimportant matters of trivial British versus American disagreement.
I mean, I was racking my brain for the pithy name to call it. I mean, something I'm like lost in translation. There's something in there, but I'm still not. I'm not quite sure. We might need people to write in and suggest ideas for it.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I do believe it needs a name.
Yeah.
I would love that, and I would love if people would also write in and tell us, do you say soccer or football?
We can get some data on that. I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it, to have the numbers?
I'd love some data. I'd love some dates.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, I mean, you got a husband. I mean, and he can hear you as you record, so say it a bit louder a few more times.
I'll wait for the text. I could pretend that I meant the fruit, the dried fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the other thing from that thread was people. This is the other one that pisses me off. Is people, British people disparaging American football as like wuss rugby. Because they wear padding and armor. What they call armor. Which I think is really stupid. And you have not watched a game of American football if you think that is the case.
You just need to look at the concussion data and the
literally
spinal
all you
injuries.
need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually much worse to have that because they feel invincible on the field. Right. So like the impact is like car crash impact on every single play because they're just going versus you don't necessarily act in that same way when you have no armor on. So it actually is like a much more dangerous game and much worse. And it's actually kind of like a game that should not be played almost certainly.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. There is also this really good list, Charlotte, of what is called the Oxford and it is described as a colloquial and sometimes facetious suffix prevalent at Oxford from about 1875. And that is basically this thing of calling it soccer and rugger. And then there are many, many other things. Like, for example, calling Boris Johnson Bozza.
Bozza.
I feel like this is a pretty common way to do a nickname in the UK. Gazza, stuff like that.
Libba.
No.
Liber.
I don't like liver.
Because I don't think
did you-
Charlotte, her, and Krista don't really work, but
They don't work, but Liber works super well. Hey, I was doing Liber's podcast. Have you guys heard Liber's podcast?
Oh shit! I mean, that is actually kind of good, isn't it? Well, you could be Chazza, I think, Charlotte.
I can't. No,
you can't be Chazza.
I've left Chazza in the past. No, that's a.
Oh, wait. Are you saying I'm dead naming you by calling you Chazza?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Wait, Chazza could be Charlotte.
I literally there was. You know what? You'll get
Shazza.
this. Shazza.
Shazza to distinguish.
That's how you
Charlie,
make it.
Charlotte. Shazza.
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 That's how you feminize Shazza. No, for whatever reason, whenever I played any Legend of Zelda game, I would always name Link Chaz.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I just called him Link because I wanted it to be.
Yeah, and I actually do that now. Ever since I moved on from Chaz, that's what I do. And then also my first ever email address was the Chazmeister at hotmail.co.uk.
That's
but
great.
I spelled Meister wrong, so it was the Chazmister. So,
Totally
but what
wrong.
I'm saying is I have a storied history with this name that I want to move on from. But.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I also really like Widders for Anne Widdecombe, Tollers for Tolkien.
Tollers?
Tollers.
Tollers.
There's one here that is not cited that I do not believe that this could be possibly real. Various title holders of the title of the Prince of Wales referred to as Pragawagga.
Pragawagga?
Pragawagga?
Jesus.
I don't believe that one.
Listen, I don't like any of these as much as I like Liber.
I've really fucked myself here, haven't I? I've really fucked myself, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Charlotte, do you want to do the main topic? Is that enough?
Yes, that's Libby, that's more than enough. And I would say great job to Libby as well for British Thought. Thank you for the person who sent that in again. And if you want to send us a British Thought, you can do that to what's all this post at gmail.com. All right, let's talk about our main topic, which is Manchester United. I want to come in here at the top and say this is one of the most difficult to research topics, I think. Probably the most difficult to research topic I've experienced for this podcast.
We're very
so
stupid
far.
for choosing this.
Yes, I would say for us. So we're probably going to be looking to you, Chris, to be like, please help us understand Manchester United. Because really a lot of my experience with football generally as a kid, feeling like I wanted to fit in at school, knowing I needed to like football in order to do that, and then just sort of absent-mindedly picking a team, probably the one that seemed sort of like the one some of my friends were into. But I do remember thinking, well, I can't pick Manchester United because that's the really popular one.
Yeah. Where did you grow up?
I'm in Bath, in the southwest.
And so what was there like a local team that was like in the Premiership or the Championship?
I don't think so. Bath was is like big on rugby.
Okay.
So I don't think we had anything in terms of like in the football world. No.
I'm looking for the closest Premier League team for you.
Yeah.
So I've said this before on a podcast. Listen, when Libby asked me to talk about this, it was such a great feeling. No, everyone hates when I talk about Manchester United. Nobody lets me talk about them all the time. And so this is a dream come true. But when I grew up in Canada and when I was like when I was like 7 or whatever, it was the 90s and we had one sports channel, the TSN, still around now, but they just had one channel and they would play one match, like one Premier League match that you would be able to watch on the weekend. And Manchester United at that time, that was when they had they were like the best, you know, that was when they had Beckham and they had Scholes and Ryan Giggs, and they were like, they won, you know, Premier League title after Premier League title. And so they were they played their games every single week. So it wasn't like I really had a choice of who. And so there's so many Manchester United fans around here, and I think all over the world, because I think Manchester United, they were so good, but they smartly like had TV deals. Like they, you know, like they would get their games broadcast around the world to create this like worldwide sort of brand or whatever. So like people around here, there's so many Manchester United fans my age because that's the only thing that we could watch. And then, I just was huge. I played soccer my whole life and was like really into it, like played it at like seriously for a long time. And so yeah, I fell off for a little bit maybe during a time, but then I really picked it up again. And people who know Manchester United will laugh. I really picked it up again about 10 years ago when they became really, really bad and haven't won a single thing in a long. I mean, they have won a few, but they haven't really been competitive in the way they were after Sir Alex Ferguson left. Fergie, he is like the biggest legend of the club.
That's the golden era of like Manchester United, right?
That's the golden era. He was such a legend. He was like, he came in and Liverpool was the best team at that point. And he came in, he has like the famous quote that like what he's going to do is knock Liverpool off their fucking perch. And then he did, and they became like the best team for so long. So he's like an absolute legend. And then he left, and yeah, they've really kind of struggled, but anyways, that I swear to God, if you guys just sat there and didn't interject, I would just go on for 45 minutes talking about like, but they got Mbumo and Cunha this year, and like they were pretty big signings from within the Premier League, and they're looking strong, and they need a replacement for Casemiro, who's obviously retiring. He's coming to the MLS.
Okay, yeah, because a lot of my thoughts were like, okay, so who's the biggest Manchester United player today? How much money does he make, and what does his wife look like? That was one of the things I wrote down.
I would say Bruno Fernandes a lot and extremely hot. That would be yeah. Bruno Fernandes is like the best player. He's like has a chance to break the assists record in the Premier League this year, and he's like been around for a long time. He's the captain of the club. He's a Portuguese guy, so he's kind of like the most famous, and he drives a really nice car. Because I saw a video where these two young fans were wearing Bruno Fernandes masks over their face to try to get his autograph. And so I saw his car, and it seemed to be some type of a car where you look at it and you're like, I'm not a car guy, but I know that car costs hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Pounds.
No, I mean, I mean, one of the aspirational things about football was absolutely, man, these guys are making an insane amount of money, right?
Yeah.
And really, yeah, just sort of like living sort of incredibly wealthy lives.
Charlotte, I've just had a really good idea.
Go ahead, Libby.
And I need to get it out of my head before I forget, because I will forget due to my maladies. On the week that this comes out, on Friday will be our Watch This Live Then stream on the Patreon, or on YouTube via the Patreon. We should look at some like Zillow listings for footballers' houses in Manchester.
I would love to do that,
because some of them are fucking horrible, and they're like £20 million or something, and they look like shit.
Oh my God! I just got
really fun.
I got so excited because I thought you were going to say we'll watch a Manchester United.
I'm sorry, but we wouldn't know what was happening.
We wouldn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is true that like football, right? If we're going to talk about football generally, I do like that you do basically, other than the offside rule, which is a big joke in the UK, is women don't understand the offside rule, and I'm like, yeah, I don't understand it.
It's very straightforward.
Oh.
It's basically when the ball is kicked, you can't be like further down the field than the last defender. And so why is the only confusing part is that the goalie.
Everything I heard you say was just blah 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 blah, and like none of it went in.
The goalie does count as a player, so technically it's two players. So if the goalie were like on the other side of the ball, it's just very rare. Then you could be onside still. But yeah, it's just you can't be physically past like any part of your body that can play the ball, so your hand doesn't count.
Yeah.
Because it can't play the ball, But any part that can play the ball, if it's like past, and now they have these lines, and they have like VAR,
they got
and
computer,
they have computer basically, that will tell you if you're past the line. But still, it gets it wrong sometimes, which is
I hate that when computer get it wrong. Computer shouldn't get it wrong. It should be getting it right.
Why have computer if it gets it wrong?
Why have computer?
Exactly.
The whole purpose of computer is to get it right. Yeah. No, I do think football is like, it was pretty easy to watch. Like if my family was watching it for whatever, we weren't really a big football family, but my granddad was into just like all sports. And so if there was a footy match on that, it would be on, and I could at least follow it. But like when I moved to the US, like American football is fucking impossible to follow if you don't know the rules. And every single word that any of the commentators say, I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what that means. Hockey is like pretty easy, but still there's some stuff that I find kind of confusing. Basketball is, I would say, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Baseball, pretty hard.
I mean, in
Baseball
terms
is
of
the
like
most
making
rules.
it easy to watch, football is slower. So that means
Yes.
you have like more time to understand what is happening.
Well, and there's
And
not all the
relax.
bloody ads in the middle, eh?
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing about footy is that you don't have ad breaks. It just goes for 45 minutes and you get to watch it all the way through. And then another beautiful thing about it that I got to give you guys all kinds of credit for in the UK,
Yay.
and you guys really deserve it, is that the game fucking starts when they say it's going to start.
Yes.
Cool.
That is such a
Okay.
huge thing where like a 7:00 a.m. kickoff is 7:00. It will start literally right at that time. Like, you know, there might be a couple of seconds off or something, but it will start at that time. Versus you go to like a Whitecaps game in the MLS and it's like, oh, 7:30 kickoff time, and the kickoff is 7:43 or whatever, because they
I
just
thought it was going to be way longer the way you were setting this up.
no, but that's bullshit. You know, you
Yeah,
should
yeah,
be
yeah.
able to know. Sometimes it's 7:43, sometimes it's 7:38, sometimes it's 7:40.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just there's no like uniform
What's
time.
the point of having the time, you know?
And it's
Sure.
because it's this North American thing, I think, where it's like get you in there and then sell you a bunch of stuff. I'm not saying you guys, it doesn't happen over there in the UK, but I think it's like less prevalent. So it's like, hey, we got them in here. Now they're waiting around. And so we have like more opportunity to sell stuff. We have more opportunity to do ads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so that pisses me off. It used to make me so mad. It used to really make me so mad. But yeah, I would say that footy has it right in a lot of ways. And you're right. It's like it's an easy sport to understand. They're trying to kick the ball into the net. There's like the rule offside or whatever, a handball, you can get your
Yeah.
although the handball rule is a little bit confusing because if it's in a natural position,
A natural position. Oh, okay.
a natural
yeah.
position. So it's like if your hand is in a natural position and it hits, so that's like a big point of contention that you'll see a lot of arguments online about like some fucking shit ass Arsenal fan will be saying like, oh yeah, we should have been a handball here, and it's like you guys have
You guys
ruined the
aren't.
game.
They don't know foot is the thing.
You don't know foot. Thank you, Libert. That's fantastic. They don't know foot, and but yeah, that's my favorite part about the culture of it. Honestly, is the
Starts
the
on
hate.
time.
Well, no, the hatred. I was going to
the
say the
hatred.
hate.
Yeah.
The
Right, because
hatred-
I did want to know, does what is the biggest sort of rival to Manchester
Liverpool.
United?
Liverpool
Okay.
is the biggest rival, and Manchester City is a big rival, obviously.
Right.
Being in the, but there's this weird thing now where a lot of the fans have united around hating Arsenal, because the Arsenal fan base is so insufferable. So like Arsenal probably going to win the league this year, unfortunately, but they've like bottled it, which is a real British term. They bottled it. A
And you
couple
bowled
of
it again.
3 years in a row or something they have, but this year they seem like they're going to win it, but everyone hates them. And there's these things now. It's my favorite thing to watch because there's watch along. People watch the games, right? Like there's whole fan channels where they just sit there and you can't, you're supposed to watch the game with them. So like the videos after are really funny. It's just a guy sitting there like doing like da 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 da,
Right.
and he's like, oh, that's not what are you doing there?
It's like a commentary track.
Yeah, he's like, but
Yeah.
he's not really doing commentary. He's like, what's that? Oh, come on.
Oh,
He's just
bloody
getting mad.
disgrace.
He's
Yeah.
like, what the hell, man?
Just
That's
a bloke
not-
to hang out with while
Yeah,
you're watching your footy.
But the most fun thing to do is there's these people who edit together, like say if Arsenal loses a game or whatever, then they'll edit together all of the fan channels, like the most insufferable ones of them
Yeah.
getting like so dejected
That
and
is
mad.
so funny.
So it's just a compilation of all these people being like, oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Of course that fucking happened, like all these, yeah.
Oh
And
my God, I
they're
love
up like
that.
15 minutes after the game is over. So that's one part of it I love.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually like what it's like being a fan of a team that has been eating shit for so long, because that seems to be the hardest thing about sports for me. Like Lewis is a huge fan of sports in general, and I would say probably if I had to guess, I think he probably cares most about the Celtics, followed by the Bruins, followed by the Red Sox, followed by the Patriots. Maybe the order is a little bit different, but he loves all those teams.
Where's he from?
That's funny. That's good. He's from Boston, of course. Charlotte. That's where those teams are from.
Yes, I picked that up through context clues.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
just had Tom here, and he kept trying to sort of like join in, like try to make conversation about it. And so he would, Lewis would be like, oh, I'm watching a Celtics game later, and he'd be like, oh, and then they playing the Bruins, and he would mean it.
Oh,
I know, it's so
tough
sweet.
on. I give him a little bit of. I feel bad for him. It was a tough year for the Celtics. They really underachieved in the playoffs. Early elimination, rough, very rough.
Yeah, exactly. And I, like witnessing that, I'm like, damn, that sucks to care about that. So being a fan of a team that was once so good and has sucked for so long, what's that like?
Well, I will say this, okay? I'm a father of a 2-year-old.
Okay.
Just to start off. And so I would say before I was a father to a 2-year-old, and I was like, I also am straight edge now. I don't take any drugs or alcohol and haven't for like maybe 5 months now. So I would say like when I would, smoke weed and I didn't have a child and it was really important to me. It still is really important to me to be serious about it for a second. Like my dad who passed away like a year ago, he was like huge into sports and raised me in that way. We had season tickets to the Whitecaps together and we would go to the games and stuff. And it was like, he raised me to like love sports. And so it's like, it's really important to me. And I like hold it like dear to my heart. Like it's like a way that I feel connected to him and stuff like that. So it is really important, but I have this kind of nice thing now where I get really excited when they win and I feel that like elation and like that excitement and that like sort of sometimes like Ariel, my partner, will tell you like maybe I'm like during the game I'm like what the fuck like if I had a fan channel I would probably be on one of those compilations most likely. But after the game's over I get over it within about 15 minutes and I'm like hanging out with my son or whatever. And it's not like, it doesn't have that same like level of, so I think that's what you want to try to do. It's hard.
So just have a son, basically.
You need to have a son. Yeah. You need to find yourself somebody or a donor or something.
I mean, truly, just having something else having something else you care about sort of more. It is more important to you.
And like perspective or whatever. Perspective is very, very helpful in it. But it is hard to get all the excitement because it's kind of is a balanced thing, right? Where it's like, hey, I can't really have that excitement if I'm not gonna, but I think you can a little bit, you don't have to. But I will say, to answer your question, Lily, before it was shitty because it would really like, I would be like bummed out for a couple of days. And I was like, I had to look at myself and be like, is this something I really want to be doing? Like where I'm allowing myself to be bummed out in this way. But yeah, it would be really, really frustrating, especially the off season, the transfers, like, we need this position, and it's like, God, they're not spending any money, and you get all fucking tied up in that. Like these owners are such scumbags. Like they just,
I was reading about this. People really hate the owners, right? They are,
and the owners are scumbags. Just to be clear, like the one guy who's now an owner of the team, his name is Jim Ratcliffe, Sir Jim. They'll just give that sir to anybody, by the way.
Apparently, yeah.
And he's like, he made some racist comments about immigrants and fairly recently. And then everyone was like, man, you own Manchester United. The whole team is filled with immigrants. Like it's a team full of immigrants. But you can get tied up in it and it can feel more important maybe than it is. And when they're losing constantly, you think you're going to get used to it, but there's this weird thing where you're, like you said, you're supporting a team that's a big club that has all this money and that has this history where you don't like accept it. It's not like the thing where you're like, hey, I'm watching a team that's always losing. So it's like, oh, we're going to lose again this year. It's no, every year you're like, this year it's going to be different and we're going to win. And then you get let down severely. But they're back in the Champions League now, finishing third in the Premier League, back in the Champions League. So
they were relegated out of the big one, the top one.
The Champions League is like I
had this problem too, Charlotte. I had to have Lewis
this is confusing. The Champions League is all the best teams from all the European leagues. So if you finish top 4 or 5 in England, then you make the Champions League, which is the big thing. You got to at least make the Champions League if you're one of the big clubs. So, but they finished like last year, they finished 15th place out of 20 teams, which is like the lowest that they've had in so long. So to bounce back with third place is pretty good. Yeah.
I really feel so sad now that I was like so proud of myself for saying the word relegated. I was like, I'm gonna connect here, but then I was like, no, it's too different,
it's
entirely
very
different kinds of
confusing.
leagues.
It's like the Champions League, the Championship. It's like it's
so
all.
wait, the Championship is the one below the Premier League. The Champions League is like the Avengers of European football.
Yeah, the Champions League is like the Avengers.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
it's very
And then,
much
of course-
like the Avengers.
And then Charlotte, there's the fucking FA Cup. Do you know about the FA Cup?
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I know all of these. I've heard all
You know
of
the
these
term,
words.
but I didn't know what it was until 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, and then there's a Carabao
Maybe
Cup as well.
9:55.
The Carabao Cup. It might have a new name now. I think it's
The
like
Caramel Cup?
Carabao. It was like just a sponsor. Yeah.
got really
I was
excited
like,
by the idea of
the
a caramel
caramel-
cup.
Delicious.
The caramel cup.
That would be nice. They get the trophy. They get to eat it at the end.
Yeah, they get it.
Woman doing a podcast about football. Oh, the Caramel Cup? Yummy. Oh.
Women's football is pretty big now too, but Manchester
is.
United has a really good women's team as well. But yeah, there's so many different cups, and it's actually like a big problem because they just like it's all about money, right? So it's all
Right.
about generating revenue for the teams, but you have these players who are just playing so, and it's like really hard on your body.
Of course,
so there's
yeah.
like so many more injuries now because it's like you're playing 3 matches this week where you have to run like 15 kilometers each time or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
why it's incredibly impressive that Bruno Fernandes is able to play so many games and never get injured, by the way. What a star.
I mean, that's crazy.
What a start. Who's your favorite sort of personality-wise? Because like when I think about Manchester United, again, sort of in the past, I'm thinking about figures like Wayne Rooney and like David Beckham who like permeated outside of just like football culture into like mainstream culture, and that doesn't seem to like have happened. Do you feel like anyone has like the possibility to do that in that world right now?
Yeah, it's tough to say because in England, I feel like they really have a big thing for English players. So the fact that those
Right.
guys were English
Yeah.
is like a big deal. Manchester United has some English players, but yeah. I mean, Bruno Fernandes is considered, if you're a football fan, he's considered like one of the best players in the world. So he's like hugely famous as well. I mean, yeah, but I don't think so. Marcus Rashford was probably the best hope at that.
Rashford.
And
I
then
like
he
him.
went to, but he had a big falling out with the last manager.
Oh, no.
And it was a big, huge problem. Now he's with Barcelona in Spain, and he'd probably get transferred out or whatever. But he was like the big hope. He came through the academy and was like a superstar, like looked like one of the top players. But then, yeah, that's the problem nowadays with these kids with their social media and stuff like that. You know?
Too busy posting.
He was
Speaking of social
posting
media.
stuff. There's another guy, Alejandro Garnacho, who's like he is young. He's like maybe 21 or something now. But when he was having the problems, he was 19, and he was literally like getting in trouble posting. Like he was like doing inappropriate posts and like So I feel like to answer your question, no, I don't think so. I don't think that there's anybody who will become as famous as those guys. I mean, maybe if England ever won the World Cup,
right.
It's coming home.
then that could
Is
be
it
a
coming
big
home,
deal.
by the way?
It's
What
not
is-
coming
yeah,
home.
No, it's
I,
not
Oh,
coming
what?
home. Is
Oh.
I
it?
don't believe it's coming home.
It's got to come home at some point, surely.
I don't believe it's tough. And listen, it's coming home to me. I'm going to go to the World Cup. It's fucking
Oh, you are?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
World Cup games it's in North America.
It's in
this
LA
coming
too,
World
but
Cup.
we didn't get tickets because they're just ridiculous. They're so
Yeah, they're-
expensive.
Ridiculous.
Well, they're much more expensive where I am actually. But,
Oh, really?
um,
Oh, God.
Oh, it's crazy. It's actually insane and infuriating. But I mean, Ariel is very supportive. Like, hey, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Like, I'm going to go watch Canada
I should
play
have
at
bought
the
those
World
tickets.
Cup.
I should have been a good wife and bought tickets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is he a big footy fan though? I mean,
Enormous.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He's
you
been
should.
watching the New England Revolution since
Liver
he was
cocked
5.
it again.
Oh, the
No,
New
not
England.
liver fail. Not a liver fail.
I just
liver
speaking
fail.
of. I had a good idea. Do you guys ever think of doing merch or anything like that, like specialized merch? Because I was thinking this is a good idea, and don't look at me like that, Libby. It's not a joke. This is a good idea that I have. I'm sort of a marketing kind of guy, and because what's a big thing that people are always drinking in England?
Oh, cup of tea or
Tea.
tea.
Thank you very much. And so
Mhm.
maybe we have the Liberty. So glad I remember.
Is it crazy that I actually did have my own blend of tea once? And
Oh, really?
I know exactly. We called it quality.
Quality, right.
It was a quality blend, so I know exactly who to go to be like, hey, let's get the Liberty blend of
So
tea
you're saying
going.
you could make that happen.
I
That's
could,
make
I
the
could maybe,
liberty.
if I still have that email address, I could maybe make that happen.
I mean, some people like it would be a fun little thing, you know. Don't like try to. It would be crazy if that became your main thing, and you
Yeah.
sort of had to do the podcast to sort of promote the liberty.
Sell the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think
Okay,
it's
well,
good.
we won't do it just because Libby doesn't like it.
We don't. Yeah. I don't want to do it. Do you want to just fucking rank it, Charlotte, or do you have more?
What else did I have on my list? Why the logo a red devil? That's evil. Devils is evil. I mean,
I
I do
did
actually
Google-
yeah. Go ahead.
When I was trying to find out about, because I said to Lewis last night, I don't know how the fuck to talk about Manchester United. It seems like the only way to talk about it is like, oh, they're like the main team, because all of my information about Manchester United comes from 1997, and I was like, yeah, it's like being a fan of the Patriots or whatever, and he was like, first of all, it's not like being a fan of the Patriots, it's like being a fan of the Yankees. And then he was like, the thing is that they're evil now. So I googled Manchester United evil, and I found, because I was hoping to find criticisms of them, but I googled Manchester United evil, and I did find some people saying like, you know, do Christians get offended by the Manchester United mascot or whatever being Satan? But they don't, apparently.
They don't.
No, they don't. Yeah, it's never really thought of in that way.
It's never come up.
Definitely. And like they're evil in the sense that like, but they're not even now. Like all the teams are like that. They're all owned by like
Sure.
Like Chelsea, the guy had to sell it, but like Roman Abramovich or whatever, who's like a close ally of Vladimir Putin, was like the owner. And like there's some of the most evil fucking people you can find in the world own these big football clubs.
Right. Yeah.
And like Manchester City now is kind of the like, they just go out and buy everybody. But everyone kind of does it now. It's really frustrating. It must be. That's why this is something for like the listeners. The craziest thing in sports, I think, that ever happened was when Leicester City won the Premier League title. They won it in like 2005 or 2006 or something like that. Maybe, sorry, 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Something around that time, because the big clubs have so much money and they just buy all the big players. Like they just like, it's like they'll have like, it's not like even other sports. Like they'll have a payroll that is like, they've spent hundreds of millions more dollars on their players than these smaller clubs. Yeah. So it's like, it seems absolutely impossible for anyone else to ever win. And then Leicester City came in and won the Premier League, like in the modern day, which is like, yeah, absolutely crazy. So Manchester United's not unique in that anymore. And they're not the best either. So Manchester City is the team that like wins the most now and is, yeah.
Gotcha. It's why not a lot of people I know are into AFC Wimbledon, because that's one of the like fan-owned clubs. Yeah, which feels like that if you're gonna try and find a non-evil way to get into it, that might be it. But yeah, let's rank Manchester United on our British supermarket themed tier list, with S being Waitrose tier, A is Marks and Spencer, B is Sainsbury's, C is Tesco, D is Morrison's, E is Asda, and F is Iceland. I've really enjoyed this conversation, coming in really not knowing that much about Manchester United. Honestly,
Me
just
too.
talking to someone who just likes it a lot. And that's good reason for doing that. But I also do feel like I don't have any idea where to put it myself. Libby, do you want to try and start?
This is tough because I don't know, and I know that owners are bad, but I'm sure a lot of the fans are nice.
Well, a lot of them are not nice too.
And a lot of them are not nice.
A lot of them are not nice. A lot of them,
right?
Yeah, I mean, we've heard the chants.
We've heard the chants.
Yeah, some of the chants are really inappropriate
and disgusting. Honestly,
Yeah, well, the real chant that I was looking at, that sort of inspired all of my Wayne Rooney ones that I made. I think it was about Wayne Rooney shagging your gran. I think that was the one.
Oh, and was that meant to be good or bad?
That's just maybe something that he would do. I feel like Wayne Rooney was like, there's this famous video of him showing up all drunk at somebody's wedding, like a random person that he didn't know.
Yeah.
So I feel like he was just like a bit of a wild kind of dude who would like, he would potentially get so drunk that he would shag your nan. Possibly.
What if it was like, Wayne Rooney gave your grandson wonderful pleasure? She feels really fulfilled.
It was the first time she felt alive in years. Wayne Rooney took away her tears.
He was an attentive lover.
Maybe we just need to like start showing up to games and just like incepting these new chants.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
could
yeah.
change the culture that way.
Feminist chants. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll just go ahead and put it in Tesco. Not good, not bad, just sort of there. That's basically how I feel.
I think I have to put it in Tesco as well, which I mean really does feel like that. My feelings on Manchester United are pretty neutral.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'm trying to. Yeah, I would like to. I have like this vague aspiration to be a sports person at some point because like I do feel like I was on the sports pool like train for a while. And I would love to. I would love to find a team that I would be into, but I think because. Yeah, there was no like football team in Bath that I really cared about.
Well, Charlotte, I did just look it up, and you were not far from Swindon Town.
Oh,
Swindon Town, but they're lower. They're
that's
lower tier.
Libby being from Bath and sort of supporting Swindon. I mean,
I see. They're like kind of
Come
a hated rival town, kind of.
All they got going on there is the roundabout or whatever.
The big roundabout. Yeah, I'm sorry, I said anything.
That's okay. It's okay. Chris, where are you gonna put Man U?
The Waitrose, is that?
That's right.
Yes.
The
That's
best,
right.
top class, exceptional, oh lovely. Yeah, that's for me. Yeah, like I said, they're a huge, important part of my life. I have struggled through many a games, but it gives me something if I'm like really stressed out or whatever. And yeah, having a kid can be really stressful and tiring and exhausting. That it's like, oh, there's a Manchester United match on the weekend that I can wake up, and Ariel's so kind and lovely, and that she's like, hey, we'll give you time to watch your Manchester United matches. She understands how important it is to me, so she's like, yeah, that's fine, you can watch. Maybe at halftime you take the dog out for a pee, and I'm like, well, halftime they're talking about the first half, but yeah.
Has Charlie shown any interest yet in the games?
Charlie, we got him a Kobe Mainu. Kobe Mainu is like a academy product who's like a brilliant young player in the midfield. We got him a Kobe Mainu jersey that he wore. Charlie is playing soccer now. So we do little kickers. It's called Little Kickers. Where you go out and they play with these tiny little soccer balls, and all the kids kick around. And I'll tell you what, I hope to not be this way, and I always hope to not be this way, but he really does seem to be like, he really likes it and is good at. Like he can dribble a ball with his like left and right foot, and just like, yeah, he seems to, I think he's fucking huge. So like, he's massive. He weighs so much. It's crazy. And he's not like fat. He's just like, so Ariel took this picture of him.
Yeah.
He's like fucking jacked. You like see him from behind, and it's just like, he looks like huge. Like he looks like he works out or something like that. So I feel like I could see him as like a real strong like center back or whatever. But yeah, no, he's shown interest in the sense that he loves a ball. He calls everything b-ball, so everything is b-ball.
Ooh,
so he'll like point at it and say like b-ball, and he'll sit
nice.
It's
so crazy that he could dribble already while doing that.
Yeah, it was really like, because I think that like my nephew and stuff, they got him into soccer, and he wasn't really showing that much interest in it, or like, and my mom was just like amazed. We went out to the park one day, and I have a video, Libby. I could send it to you guys afterwards of him dribbling around the ball, and my mom was like genuinely just like, that's crazy that he can do that. So who knows? He might show, he might like completely, when he gets more wits about him, he might be like, this seems stupid. I'm not interested in this at all. But right now he seems to like it. Now. And I think like I did with my dad, I think that because I'm so interested in it, there's like a good chance that he'll like it as well, which I'm really hopeful for. Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely.
Well, speaking of liking games, I really hope you guys like my game that I have prepared for today, which is, of course, Name That Ball.
Yeah.
Football is played with a ball, but there are many other kinds of balls out there in the world. So the way that this game works is you're going to hear a ball, and you just got to tell me what the ball is.
You are
I
so
think we're
crazy,
going back
Charlotte.
to. I think we're going back to like just a buzz in, just first person. Like wait for the sound to play out, and then just jump in when you think you know what the ball is.
Brilliant.
That sounds good. All right, name this ball.
Oh, golly. Oh, it's aggressive. All right, Libby.
Libby,
Is that a ping pong ball?
is that a ping pong ball?
Is that a ping pong ball?
That is not a ping pong ball, Chris. You
Oh,
want to
what
try
the
and steal?
fuck?
Is that a testicle ball slapping up against the back of a man or woman? I mean, I don't know.
Against
That doesn't sound like a ball to me.
I know. Well, this is the thing about name that ball. These are quite
See,
tricky
I thought
balls.
this is so is this like a well-known ball, would you say?
This is a clacker.
Oh, come on.
Charlotte.
These are clacker balls.
I think you should
Come
give the
on.
point to Chris because that does kind of look like a pair of bollocks.
They look like a couple of cherries. Yeah.
I'm giving a half point to you, Chris. All right.
Thank you.
I mean, I think like it does sound like if someone was really going for it. I mean,
Yeah.
especially at the end there. I'm not quite sure what's happening with those testicles, but
Well, I think they're about to come. I think is what's happening there, that they're close to finishing and they're going rabbit mode, rabbit mode.
That's a half point. All right, let's hear another one. Name this ball.
Oh, my lord.
What's that ball?
Can you play it
Okay,
again?
so these aren't going to be like I was really hoping.
They're not all sports balls. No.
Yeah, I was hoping for some sports related ones. These are now that's some sort of video game type thing that we're.
Man, is it the ball from Pong?
Okay, really focused on the ping pong stuff.
I guess
Ping pong.
I love Pong.
Okay, Libby's going
And
for
ping.
Pong. It is not Pong. Chris, do you want to try and steal this one?
I don't even have a guess on that, honestly.
Well, you said something from a video game. Well, you both did. It was a Pokeball.
Oh,
Come on, guys. You know what a Pokeball is. Come on.
That's really upsetting to me because I
Yeah.
actually do. I go to like retail stores and I take all of the Pokemon cards off the shelf so I can
Yeah.
sell them at an inflated price to young
Yeah.
children. So I should have known.
You
that,
should have known
actually.
that.
Should have known that.
As
Yeah.
the biggest Pokemon gangster in Vancouver.
All right. No points for that one. Okay, here's another one. Name that ball.
Oh, I know. Libby.
Libby. Yes.
Is that Dragon Ball?
Libby, you've jumped in. Those were, of course, the Dragon Balls summoning the dragon Shenron, I believe. I never
Stupid.
watched Dragon Ball before, but I
Yeah.
found out you need to. That's what the Dragon Balls look like. They got little stars on them. You need to bring them together to summon the dragons. So there
See,
you go.
I guess I was like, in my mind, I was like, well, of course, what you're doing makes sense because you guys are doing a comedy podcast. But I was just like really hopeful that it was just going to be like a bouncing basketball. And I was going to be like, Chris, basketball. And I was going to win. Like,
I'm so sorry. I didn't just do it sort of straight. Just like
Yeah, I
it
was
was out of
looking
a
Could
for-
ball.
still be basketball. We don't know.
You never know. You never know what's coming.
I feel like judging on by how these have gone, I am not going to hear a bouncing basketball by the end of this.
All right, here's another one. Name that ball.
Start the ball machine.
Oh, I know this one, Charlotte. Yes, I do. And there's
Here they are. Let's say hello to the
hello.
money.
Let's say hello to the money. And this is one of the biggest shows on British television, and millions of people watch this, and that's not embarrassing for us at all. I think this is Golden Balls, isn't it, Charlotte?
Yeah, this one is Golden Balls.
Oh,
I
who's
am
that
not
fella?
Yeah, I actually used to watch a lot of Golden Balls.
I've never seen it. I just think he looks like a twat.
And I'm not going to deny that. No, the main thing I always remember about Golden Balls is the split or steal at the end.
Okay.
Anyway,
What is the game? What happens in it?
you get balls come out of the Golden Ball machine. They've all got different amounts of money on them. And then all I really remember is it involves a lot of lying about what balls you may or may not have.
It's like Deal or No Deal, kind of as suitcases.
Sort of like that. But at
Ball
the
or no
end,
ball.
like you'll like it will be two players left, and they'll be like, if we can decide to split all of this money in total between us or steal it, and they have the split or steal balls. Yeah, I watched a lot of Golden Balls. What can I say?
And
All right,
it's-
here's another one.
It's probably been going since your childhood, and it's still going now because that's the way with shows in Britain. I noticed that these things go on forever.
Yeah.
They
Something
do
like
them
that.
for so fucking long, but they do short series of certain shows.
They do, yeah. It's like it's been going since 1954, and it has 18 episodes or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Are
and then
usually, yeah.
sorry.
British TV shows will have six episodes, or they will have like 2,000.
Yeah, like
Is usually the way that it
EastEnders or
works.
whatever.
EastEnders, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right, here's another ball.
All right.
Look out!
Name that ball.
So don't want to be the one to say it almost.
What's
Well,
that ball?
you're gonna have to because I got no idea what's going on.
Well, Charlotte, that's the golden snitch.
Ah,
Chris, you have an opportunity to steal here.
Oh,
'cause it's
no!
not-
Was it? Oh!
oh, it's a Quidditch ball.
It was
Quidditch-
not the golden snitch. No.
See, I don't know. I've never seen these Harry Potter films or read the books or anything, so I really don't know any
Thank you
of
for
it.
being such an ally.
I
Because of
didn't
this.
know!
You could have read between the lines, I think, Libby.
I should have look. There should have been signs. I will say for no points. I do know what it is now that you've said the clue.
Go on.
I think it's a quaffle.
Come on, Libby. It was a fucking bludger.
Oh, but that's what I meant. Oh, that's
It
what
was
I
a
meant.
bludger. Of course, it was a bludger. The bludger was coming
Oh,
for
I'm
Harry.
so glad. I'm
The
so glad
bludger
I'm
had been
forgetting
tampered
this.
with, of course.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
coming for him.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. No points for that. Kind of want to give a point to Chris for not watching any Harry Potter, so I've done that.
I did
too.
go. I did not go on the ride, the Harry Potter ride.
All
At
right, let me
Universal
just take
Studios.
that point right back off.
Oh,
I went on the ride as well. I thought it was
Okay,
fine.
one down from Libby as well.
It's
And then
just
I also
whatever.
went on the ride at some point in my life too. So I'm going to take off 1 point from myself. So I'm at -1 as well. Okay, name that ball.
Are you tired, run down, listless?
Lucille Ball,
Feel
Chris.
at a party? Are you unpopular? The answer to
Chris,
all your
Lucille
problems
Ball.
is in this little one.
That is correct. That was
Nice.
Lucille Ball.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that baddie.
She is a ball. All right.
Do you know why? Do you know why I got that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I just started thinking, like, what do you think she's gonna do here?
What's she gonna do next? What is
Yeah,
this
like
pretty
that's
girl
I
gonna do
started. So
next?
I thought of different people named Ball. I was thinking, like, yeah, I started thinking of like what could be a play on words or something, and then I thought of Lucille Ball. So I had that one ready to go.
Yeah.
Now you're playing Name That Ball.
Yeah,
now you know
I'm-
what Name That
now
Ball
I'm
is.
starting to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're locked in on Name That Ball. Okay, here's another ball. Name that ball.
Chris. Chris,
Go ahead, Chris.
that'd be Dodgeball, a true underdog story.
Libby, you have a chance to steal. That is not correct.
I thought that's what it was.
Is there another bull movie?
Balls of Fury.
I got nothing.
No, you do know this, Libby.
No, I don't.
All right. Well, that was Dr. Evil getting hit in the balls, so it was Dr. Evil's balls.
But I haven't seen Goldmember, Charlotte. Remember this.
It is from Goldmember. I forgot you hadn't seen Goldmember.
Yeah.
And that was Goldmember talking, right? In the Kaneki or whatever he says. Good guess on Dodgeball, though. Is this the last one? Let's have a listen. Penultimate one. Name that ball.
What?
Then different language?
Different language, that's right.
Different language. Charlotte, this is simply too hard. It's too difficult.
It's too hard?
It's too difficult. I'm getting upset.
That's okay. You got to learn, Libby. You got to learn you can't do everything. You can't know every ball.
It is a frustrating feeling. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a frustrating feeling to just
Yeah.
have no idea whatsoever. You know?
Bull. What could be a bull?
Because then
Do you wanna
I'm
hear it?
thinking, and I'm just feeling so like I'm feeling very inadequate.
Okay, I
right
will
now.
say this is a regular sports ball.
Okay. The first time that maybe Chris's guess of a basketball could be right.
I don't think so though.
No, I don't think so either. It sounded like a
Can you
knife.
play it again?
Yeah, play it again.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, it's not a bowling ball, right?
I'm going to have to take that. It's not a bowling ball.
Was
No.
it Japanese?
I believe it is Japanese, yes.
All right, so in that case, they love baseball over there, so maybe it was a baseball.
Libby, you are correct. That was
From
a baseball.
Not Kill Bill again.
So this is the same sound effect that I played during Name That Sword. So it's the same scene from when we played Name That Sword, and it's about the baseball that is
Okay, but that
sliced
was
by the
like-
sword.
That seems unfair that she's already heard the clip before.
Don't worry, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter. But yeah, it was a baseball, so good job. Okay, so this is the last one.
Okay.
This one's a bit long.
Please be a basketball bouncing on the floor.
Name this ball.
And I put my hand on the ball and we wiggled it. And as you can see, it moves. And so I went in and spoke to Michael. He agreed that they are supposed to be stationary, but cars hit them and trolleys hit them all the time. But you can see it moves.
Name that ball.
Okay, I think I have a guess because she said trolleys.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the big red ball from outside of Target?
Libby, congratulations. It was indeed the big red ball from outside of Target.
She knows stores, folks.
She knows her store. I just remembered when you did stores, you had Target. That was your store, wasn't it? Yeah, so you would know that.
Seems a little bit. Seems again you've sort of catered it a little bit towards Libby on that final question.
I didn't think about that until the end, but I guess
I'm
it
Charlotte's
was sort of
favourite.
in me. Yes. Libby does win with 3 points out of a possible 9. Chris, you got 1.5, and I got a -1 as well. So I did the worst.
Pretty good
at the
showing.
end of the day. All right, that was Name That Ball. Are we
Charlotte.
still liking the Name That blank format?
I could do that every single week.
Okay, it
I
is quite
love Name
hard.
That.
It's always hard to find enough of a thing.
I'll do it next
yeah.
week. I don't know what we're doing next week, but if the
Maybe-
topic lends itself.
Just I would say a thought about that segment is maybe you send a message to the guest beforehand, you let them know what the Name That category is going to be, and then they can do a little bit of research and they can listen to some different balls and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
be a little
Oh, we
bit
should
more
just do
prepared.
Name That Ball every week.
Yeah,
I
there's
think I
a
might
couple-
have enough balls. We could just do Name That Ball again next week.
Monsters Ball.
Monsters Ball.
Yeah, you could do a clip from that.
We haven't even done most of the sports balls, so
Do you-
that's right
Only
there.
one baseball. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it.
Do you know what would be this is a real good trick question that you could do for Name
Yeah.
That Ball if you do choose to do it again, is you could do a bouncing basketball, but then you could say the actual answer could be LaMelo Ball because he's a famous basketball player. So you could say that that's actually incorrect. It's not a basketball bouncing. The actual answer is LaMelo Ball.
That is so good.
And you know I'm going to use that against Libby. It is just going to be a sound of a basketball, and she's going to say
I'll
LaMelo Ball, and I'm just going to be like, no, it's just a basketball.
And
no, don't worry.
Charlotte-
I'll have forgotten.
Charlotte, and if you do want to actually use it against Livy, I'll send you a private message afterwards to tell you some of the other members of the Ball family.
Oh,
Because they are a
thank
basketball
you.
family, and a bunch of them have played, and so you could use a different one and definitely get it.
There we go. Conspiring against Libba. All right, that's the end of the show, everybody. Chris, would you like to take a moment to talk about yourself, where people can find you?
No thanks.
Okay.
No, come on, Chris, the Patreon. Plug the Patreon. You were telling
Plug
me
the
about it.
Patreon.
Sounds
Talk
really
about
Oh, I
good.
have a Patreon. That's true. I do have a Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/notevenashow, it's from my old YouTube channel, but I do a podcast on there called The Writer's Room, and it's me doing a writing meeting with Jesse Farrar and Mike Hale and Brian from Guys and Stefan Heck and Chef Kevin, who's a producer on a lot of different podcasts. So we'll occasionally have guests on there, but it's mostly us. And it's actually been named as one of the most annoying podcasts on the internet. They just the amount of talking over on that podcast is unparalleled.
That is a lot of guys on the same podcast who like to talk, but I like all of them. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, we broke the record for the most talking over each other on a podcast, and also came in second place for most annoying podcast after. Come on, let's slag someone off here.
Who do we want to slag
Two
off?
Bears, One Cave with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura.
That's my favorite one.
All right. But do listen to guys. So you can hear episodes with me and with Libby and with both of us together over there. As well as many other wonderful episodes. That's the show. Do be sure to check us out. Subscribe to our Patreon. Don't worry, guys. We have ideas for episodes that we're doing on The Finest. We have so many ideas, and to prove this week on The Finest, we are doing the Ideas episode where we talk about all of the ideas that we definitely have for Finest episodes going forwards. And I have not started prepping for that one yet, but by the time you hear it, we will have those ideas. That's patreon.com/What's All This then. Shoot us a follow as well with What's All This Pod on Blue Sky, Instagram, and YouTube as well. If you go on YouTube, you can watch all of the main feed episodes for free over there. And do send us a message too. If you've got an idea for a British thought, you want to get in touch, tell us about how you didn't like how I said that if you like Man U, you eat Wayne Rooney's poo. Whatever you want to email us, that's fine. That's What's All This Post at gmail.com. That's the show, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the BBC? What's all this then?